A few weeks ago, I interviewed one of my favorite rappers, Open Mike Eagle, and immediately we started geeking out over the masked MC, MF Doom.
His flow, I have to be careful with his flow because his flow lives in my mind and in my heart. I can almost get into his mind in terms of how he writes, you know?
This is what MF Doom sounds like. Just listen.
Corners and switching positions, auditioning morticians, sword in a vision, ignoring prison, ignoramuses enlisting, sound dumb, found them, drowning cows dung, crowns flung.
He'll have entire bars that rhyme, the entire setup bar rhymes with every syllable in the punchline bar, and it's incredible.
It made me wonder, what can I learn from rappers simply by looking at how they rhyme with the beat?
I try to start off with 16 dots on a paper.
That's Rakim. He's widely regarded as one of the most influential MCs of all time.
If 4 bars was this long, I see a graph in between them 4 bars. I could place so many words and so many syllables. I can take it to the point where there's no other words you can put in that 4 bars.
So before we get into rhymes, we need to know what beats and bars are.
I always try to find the beat of the music first.
That's Martin Connor. He's analyzed the most rhythmically dense rap songs down to the last syllable, and he writes about it.
A bar is a grouping together of 4 beats.
Before guys like Rakim came along, rhymes in rap songs were pretty basic. Take one of the first commercially successful rap songs from 1980, The Breaks by Kurtis Blow.
Brakes on the bus, brakes on the car, brakes to make you a superstar, brakes to win and brakes to lose, but these here brakes to rock your shoes, and these are the brakes. Break it up, break it up, break it up!
This simple AABB rhyming pattern with no wordplay or puns is pretty predictable, lyrically and musically. But fast forward to 1986, and you've got songs like Eric B. is President from Eric B. and Rakim. Compare this to The Breaks, and it's clear the frequency of rhymes is greater, but not only are you seeing more rhymes, you're also starting to see different kinds of rhymes. Indeed and proceed are internal rhymes, because they happen inside the sentence. Man made a mix and Band-Aid to fix are multi-syllable rhymes. The other thing Rakim does later in the verse is cross the bar line, and he does it in a tremendously clever way.
I hurry up because the cut'll make him bleed to death, but he's kicking it, plus it ain't no half-stepping. The party is live, the rhyme can't be kept inside of me, he's erupting just like a volcano.
Crossing the bar line happens when a sentence like "the rhyme can't be kept inside" doesn't end when the bar ends. If you listen closely, you'll hear that the second syllable of inside
Party is live, the rhyme can't be kept inside of me.
Lands on the first beat of the next bar. Rakim even references this in the lyric, and it's pretty clever. Now, fast forward 11 years, and Notorious B.I.G.'s Hypnotize cleverly used Rakim's techniques to make one of the smoothest rap songs ever.
What I like most about this is that it's not predictable and that it's always changing. So sometimes Notorious B.I.G's sentences are long, sometimes they're short.
Like the moment in this verse here.
Dead right, if the head right, Biggie there, and night. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls want to us, wanna do us, screw us, who us? Yeah, Papa and Papa.
He's also completely comfortable delivering a sentence across the bar line. But what makes this song stand out the most to me is that before one rhyme scheme ends, another one begins. Like this moment in verse 2.
All Philly hoes know it's Moschino. Every cutie with the booty for the coochie. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the shit? Them niggas ride dicks.
You see, the first group of rhymes is the oo sound, and it links the first and second sentence, which then begins the is sound, and so on. It's a huge reason Biggie sounds so smooth here. Now, as much as Biggie daisy-chained an entire song together with rhymes, he was for the most part using single-syllable and single-word rhymes. And this is where artists like Mos Def push things even further. His verse on Redefinition hits nearly every note within the bar with 4-syllable rhymes, and he does it across a whopping 14 bars.
born inside the winter wind. Stay after December 10. These simpletons they mention in the synonym for feminine.
Now, in redefinition, Mos Def is clearly rhyming each word with the beat. This is where Andre 3000 shakes things up with his verse in Aquemini. Focus on the beat first. Now, listen to each syllable with the beat in mind.
Twice upon a time, there was a boy who died and lived happily ever after. But that's another chapter. Live from home of the brave with $30, beauty parlors, baby ballers, bowling ball and parlors, street scholars, majoring in culinary arts. You know how to work with bread, cheese, and dough.
Most rappers would have dollars, parlors, and bottles all rhyme similarly on the beat. But Andre is accenting each rhyme within different places relative to the beat and bar.
Like people say that the word orange doesn't rhyme with anything. And that kind of pisses me off because I can think of a lot of things that rhyme with orange.
In fact, Eminem does this exact thing on his 2002 song Business.
Set the blow, polish, dorm room doors off the hinges. Oranges, peach, pears, plums, oranges. Yeah, here I come, my inches away from you, dear.
Now, Eminem doesn't just pack in tremendously dense multi-syllable rhymes, he also tells incredibly vivid stories. And for a lot of people, that wins in a battle. This is where Lose Yourself comes in. It was the first rap song to win an Academy Award.
Woo! The Oscar goes to Eminem, Jeff Bass, and Luis Resta for Lose Yourself from 8 Mile.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready.
I'll see the line and I'll separate it all into not just words or sentences, but into their syllables, you know?
When you group all of these rhymes together, this incredibly complex rhyme scheme emerges. It's unpredictable, it's complex rhythmically and lyrically, but it's not just that you're rhyming.
It's that while you're rhyming, you're still telling a good story, and like, Lose Yourself is like that.
All right, here we go, third take.
Today, rappers like Kendrick Lamar are carrying on the tradition of artists that are able to use the musicality of rhymes to create really memorable songs. Let's look at Kendrick Lamar's Rigor Mortis.
The sun is under my feet and I come in peace to compete. I don't run if you athlete. My statistics go up in weeks and I go visit the nearest creek and I get busy. Yo, mini MC, really ballistic. Anybody can see any assistance. Everybody to see some persistence.
The first thing you'll notice is that Kendrick has created a very clear motive with his rhymes. What's a motive? Well, it's a short musical idea, a musical fragment or succession of notes that has some special importance in a composition. Here's probably the most recognizable motive in the history of music. That da-da-da-dum is carried out through the entire piece. It's 3 quick notes followed by a long note. The musical motive in Rigor Mortis is 2 short notes followed by a long note, stringing the entire song together.
The street, better partition, better dot your T, Hannibal mention, how the you see, put my dick in the rap industry, everybody bitching, getting mad at me, recognize Kendrick in a battery, and I'm sure.
It's one of the few songs that like you physically can't rap along to it.
When Kendrick goes into 4th gear, he keeps the motive going, and the motive keeps him in check.
Really ballistic, anybody can see any assistance, everybody to see some persistence, recognize I be really too vicious, the permanent beast and the demolition, breaking up the street, better partition, better dot your T, Hannibal mention, how the you see, put my dick in the rap industry, everybody bitching, getting mad at me, recognize Kendrick in a battery.
As much as Biggie's Hypnotize sounds completely different from Rigor Mortis, there are a lot of musical similarities. Remember how Biggie daisy-chained those rhymes? Well, Kendrick does that here too. And in Hypnotize, Biggie also creates a motive, with the sequence of rhymes here. Okay, now let's get back to MF Doom. 2 years after Lose Yourself won an Academy Award, MF Doom released 3 full-length albums, including Mad Villainy, which is widely considered one of the best underground hip-hop records, period. Mos Def can't even contain his excitement talking about Doom.
I bet $1 million on Doom against Lil Wayne.
What up? To all rappers, shut up, and while you shutting up, put a shirt on, at least a button up.
For the most part, MF Doom rhymes on the beat, but he uses multi-syllable rhyming phrases up the wazoo, often rhyming entire lines together. This is called a holorhyme.
The worst hated God who perpetrated odd favors demonstrated in the perforated rod lavers. In all quad flavors, large savers.
He'll do setup, punchline. Like his following bar will be referencing the punchline, but not in a way that he's like setting up another one. He just starts to go in another direction, but just acknowledges where the last bar was.
This is what Mike is talking about.
I wish I had 2 more wishes, and I wish they fixed the door to the Matrix's mad glitches. Spit so many verses, sometime my jaw twitches. One thing this party could use is more booze. Put yourself in your own.
MF Doom understands the power of rhyme and the beat and completely manipulates it in a humorous way. As Pitchfork points out, the rhyme's pattern and rap's topical stereotype demands the word bitches. Yet Doom humorously says booze and uses that rhyme to connect to the next sentence. Where artists like Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and Andre 3000 are telling very vivid stories with their rhymes, MF Doom is using his dense rhymes like a villain would use his superpower. Before you know it, you're being hit with a killer punchline, double entendres, and clever wordplay.
I love rappers with that syncopated, uneven phrasing where the sentences don't line up with the bars, because like you said, then you can't predict what's going to happen. The point of appreciating it is to see what the very most clever human beings are capable of doing that you didn't think possible.
One interesting story that came up when I was talking to Martin concerns another song on Black Star's album. And it's actually a cover of sorts of Slick Rick's song called Children's Story from 1988. Now, the reason it's not exactly a cover is because all of the lyrics pretty much are different. But the way most Steph references the song is through the rhymes. So if you look at the 2 songs side by side, bar by bar, most Steph is rhyming the same exact syllables as Slick Rick, but he's changing up the lyrics. Both of these songs are on a Spotify playlist that I created. It also includes all of the songs in this video and about 30 extra songs that I wasn't able to include due to time, but I think really represent some phenomenal rhyming and rap music.